All right, glad to have you back. It is still Sports Republic right here on VOP TV. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a major loaded package, and I'm not mising words here. But first, let me introduce first our guy. And I'm talking about the one that is popularly known as the voice of the mic. But now for radio, maybe for TV. Kizzy K, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, David, great to have you. Great to see you. Great to be here. I'm very, very happy to be back. It's just a long night for me.
Wow.
I don't know. But we are here to talk. But thank you so much.
That's what fresh people they do. But again, I want to, the reason why I actually introduced him first is because I wanted him to introduce the big fish. So at this point, I'm still leaving it back to you.
Okay, so Lagos City and Beyond is Sports Republic show, and here we have a very big man. I could call him a big guest. It doesn't sound like a hype. I love to say that all the time. He is here with us talking about the man that played his national football with the Super Eagles back then. You could check his archive, his CV. You know about how he's been former international striker. Some love to call him forward at this point in time because the game has changed. And also, that man I'm talking about also managed the Super Eagles, and that was back in 2010-2011 season, looking at the way he's been. Also reappointed back again for 2016, and that will tell you how big this man is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not busy, if it was an event show, I can say that. Let's make welcome our very big guest on the show this morning. In no other name but that big man, Samson Siasia, is in the building with us. Good morning, Coach. Great to have you join us.
Morning, it's nice to be here. Good morning.
Coach, yeah, it was fun yesterday. That was for the radio, but we're on TV now, national TV, and I'm very privileged to have you. We've got a couple of questions to be asking. The David, I know you.
Oh yes, well, Coach, it's quite well. Let's also let it out there that Coach Samson Siasia is one of the managers that Nigerians have been clamoring for, even till this time. Now, the reason is not far-fetched. He has so much on his archives, particularly not only with the young and of course young grade team players, but of course with the Super Eagles, the style of play, his record, his pedigree. I mean, the team plenty, a long way.
David, I think I love the parts where people. Yesterday, you need to see the ovation on the radio. It was so crazy. And I love the fact that people now know that's the difference. The long one. Talk about managerial concept, the nitty-gritty, the psychology, methodology to be used.
Yeah.
Samson Siasia has come to stay.
No be like.
We know the story about Samson Siasia. We know about the band. By August, it will be over. But one of the talk we'll have on the show would be very big to say. So let's get to which one do you have for him today?
Okay, first off, Coach, it's been ages for some persons, but for some, it looks like it's just yesterday. After the journey, aside coaching, let me even start with you personally. Aside coaching, and aside, of course, loving the game, which is what we know you've lived for all your life, what other thing do you do?
Well, aside coaching, I don't know what else to do. That's a good question. Nobody has not asked me that kind of question before. Well, you're right. You know, I'm always involved in one or two things in sports because I still have my academy. The second academy is in Lagos, in Abuja. So we even have a team now called One FC. We signed them in the NLO2. So we're trying to get some players that we can register so they can play the next 2 months. So we're doing a lot behind the scene. Wow. What FIFA ban meant is I cannot coach. You understand? I cannot coach. That's the punishment. Like you steal something now, they'll put you in jail for the period of time. You understand? Yeah. But some people took it out of took it beyond that, making it feel like you cannot be involved in these sporting activities. That is not coaching. You understand? So that's where the problem is.
Wow. So that's part of. You talked about your academy. Let's go into that quickly. How do you scout for players? Do you have a team that does this for you, or you good personally?
No, most of the time I just sit down there and watch and just ask the coaches. I think this one should be, the ones, sometimes even in the academy, these coaches are not even correct. You understand? I'm telling you don't even know.
Now you just said these coaches are not even correct. Now that brings us to the under the 2020, where we have Coach Ladamboso at the African Games.
Currently,
that simply is looking like he has a lifetime job with that team.
It looks like he owns it.
I mean, he's not leaving anytime, and it's not like he's doing any difference.
Okay, I'm not the one that said it though.
coach at this point.
It's not me that said it, but it's from the horse's mouth.
Right.
So, well, if that's what you're saying, I think it is what it is.
But this has been what has been rumored by some quarters, and is becoming.
Does it actually look like a rumor?
But that's what we say. It's what we say.
What you say? You just said it.
Mm.
Maybe he's the only one that is good enough to handle that team. I don't know.
But there's a body governing this game. I mean, there's a power behind it. The NFF still governing that body. Why can't there be a decision made about that? Looking at his record over time, I don't even think I fancy the Ghana Bosses record to go.
Well, maybe you're not looking at the right records, but maybe other guys are looking at something else.
Oh, okay.
You understand? You don't know.
We understand that he is the coach of coaches.
See, I can read from Samson Siasia right here in the studio. He really don't want to talk about this.
I get it.
I know he don't want to talk about it. It's not really on him to say, like we said, the other body governing this game.
Definitely.
The NFF should have taken over this. But quickly, coach, let's get onto this now. During your ban, I could say this. I'm still celebrating the fact that by August you're bound to be lifted. I'm so happy. One of those persons on the outside who is celebrating your comeback. Now, what has life been for you like away from football?
Well, life has been, I wouldn't say hell, but we managed through a couple of years without working. You know how it is when you don't pay your bills.
Yeah.
You don't have a job and you'll be like sitting at home doing nothing. You may be frustrated.
Right.
So having worked all your life, you are the breadwinner of the house and all that.
It's a lot.
And yes, and now that, whatever it is, I don't care how much nice your wife is, sometimes there'll be problems.
Definitely.
You understand?
Right.
When the bills are not paid and all that stuff. But she managed to help you out and all. But after 5 years, it wasn't easy at all.
Right.
Wow.
But I'm glad that it's almost over anyway. So
support?
yeah.
Did you get support at all from the body, from NFF or your colleague, just to say maybe?
From who?
Your colleagues. I mean, you play the game 99 out of 4. You have a set of players to play with you. I don't want to start calling names.
Not until you get into this stage that you know who your friends really are.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. When you're on the valley, nobody cares about you. Your position. When you have a position, that's where everybody will come to you. Just like you're a governor, everybody will fucking,
Everybody
wants to be involved, trying to get whatever they need to get to take care of themselves. But when you are just for example, go and check out people that have been governors before and now that are not in power.
Right.
Oh yeah.
They barely have one phone call from people calling them because it's the office. It's not the person. As long as the office is no more there, the person is gone.
Right.
Wow.
That's what it is. What it is.
Wow.
So, coach, say to us, there's no support from the NFF, no support from your colleagues. That's what it is.
Why would NFF support you? How? It's not possible. They don't care. It's only when you are back and everybody knows that this guy is back. I said it.
Maybe.
I just told you about position.
What
are they going to support?
Let's say the NFF. Some persons we've seen like that of the Danny Alves issue, right?
Oh yes.
Some persons don't want to get involved. When Neymar did, some said, why would Neymar get involved? But Neymar knows why he did so. Let's even take the NFF away from it, right?
Yeah.
His colleagues.
And
What's come to us?
emphasis on the statement you just made. Nobody cares about you.
Yes.
But then that statement is lingering on when you are there in that office.
Okay.
Or
At that
when
point
you
in
are
time.
at that point in time, or when you have success. Those were his words. Now, speaking of success, the Super Falconets are in the finals.
Right.
The NFF president, I beg your pardon, the Minister of Sports,
John Honor,
is saying something like charging them to do better, win gold. Is it about who is winning at this time? What happens to continuity? Maybe, Coach, I have to ask you. You were a manager with the Flying Eagles at the time.
Right. Beijing?
What was your priority as a manager, aside winning the trophy?
It's the welfare of the players. That's number one thing. Because these players, they think they are playing for you. You're the manager.
Right.
You make it, you let them know that they are playing for you, not Nigeria.
Right.
Because you are the one caring for
At
them.
that point,
Everything that they need, whatever they need, you have to provide for them.
Okay.
Because if you don't provide for them, they won't be able to give you whatever they have to give you. You understand? So the players are your number one priority. They don't have toothbrush when you travel out, SIM card, so they can connect with their families and all. You have to provide all those things. But The only problem is we don't have the funds to do that because there has never been funds anyway.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
So you, as a manager, you have to find a way to make sure these things are taken care of. Because at the end of the day, these guys will play and they won't do, actually, they want them to win.
Wow.
Even they take care of them or they don't take care of it. On that day, they have to win because they are wearing the Nigerian colors.
Right.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, if you don't do well, the
Yeah,
problem of the manager.
You know what's
Come
even
back to
striking?
you.
What's striking is the fact that he said there's never been funds. But unfortunately,
But all of this we see on papers. What about
exactly, yes. That's
Which form?
Sometimes we see messages we see messages portrayed that those ones are getting support, but we will never know until we have the right man. You know,
Very
we
true.
never know. Just like we have you here, and that's why we talk now. But coach, while we still talk about you personally, what are we anticipating? What are we expecting during your return to football again for August?
My return, I'm not just only looking at coming back, you know, I'm looking at, improving myself.
Okay.
Just the next couple of months,
Right.
prepare, go out to Europe and I'll go back, because I live in America,
Okay.
back and forth.
Right.
I try to go back there and do some refresher coaching courses just to catch up with the trend.
Right.
You understand? So, not necessarily diving for the Super Eagles job. You understand? But
now that you mentioned it, coach, a lot of persons would say, if no be Siawano, if you no get that kind of, I'm not going to come to that part now. I'm going to come to the biggest brand of Nigerian football, and that's the Super Eagles.
Okay.
Well, assumably, and it's not even supposed to be so because we're supposed to have a progressive
Right.
footballing circle. Now, Coach Jose Pizarro, before he left, would you, as a manager, say that he did do Nigeria some good justice with his style of play at the AFCON?
I won't say about the style of play,
Okay.
but he got into the finals.
Okay.
Right.
That can be
Not
talked
with all
about.
his style of play or whatever he
True.
did,
Very
he
true.
got into the finals.
Very true.
But we're looking. This is not how the Nigerian team play. That's why people are not.
Yeah, not
Coach, I hear this
not
thing.
convinced enough.
Yeah.
I hear this thing about this is not how Nigeria play. Do we have the materials to play the way Nigeria plays?
What? You know about these boys?
It was-
The ones they had in AFCON?
Yes.
Of course they are good players. They are top players. You are still seeing a day and the rest of them.
Now, from your perspective now, from what you just said now, it means you wouldn't have even supported that, even if we won the trophy, you would have supported Jose Pizarro to stay because of our style of play.
Well, it's not my call. That's not my area.
No, I'm just talking about from your own maybe personal opinion.
No, would you advocate for other coaches to be sacked?
Oh well,
No,
very true.
You know, I don't think so.
Very
It's
true.
left for the federation to look
decide.
at what he has done to say, okay, this man has done well, we want to keep him.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the man said he's not going to stay anymore. That he's leaving. So, he has made up his mind that he wants to leave. So Nigeria should just let him go and look for someone else.
Okay, so you're still watching Sports Republic right here on Voice of People TV, and we have the big man talk about Coach Samson Siasia in the building with us. And we know about the disclaimer. I know a lot of people outside. I mean, you watching me now have been thinking, what do we do? That we know about the coaching, the vacant role that says we want to get our manager. Let's ask Siasia this question now. We saw that disclaimer from you saying you never applied for the job, the vacant role. There won't be so much time to go into a lot of details, but I would love you to give us the way it is here. Did you apply for the Super Eagles job?
No,
You never did.
I don't know who did. Because it wasn't me.
Oh,
Oh wow.
All right, let them show us a proof where I wrote an application that I'm applying for this position. Right? That should be an evidence of my
Very
application,
true,
right?
Very true.
Let them bring one of it. That I signed that I applied.
Wow.
you never
Okay, I cannot because my band is not over. You know, then I'm going to put myself in another problem with FIFA. I cannot even, they wouldn't even accept the application if I did.
did. But we know if you're on the ban, you cannot apply.
Yeah.
But we need to run because our time is up. Our last one, coach, sorry for holding
I
you
was
this.
still going to ask a question, but that's fine.
Okay, we can wrap it up together. Indigenous forward manager, which do you prefer for you and why?
Bro, take a wild guess now. Why would I want the foreigner? Don't we have a better coaches here in Nigeria? We do. If we don't have, let's go and train more of them so they can get to that level. At the end
How's
of the
the
day,
process, coach?
look, there's no foreigner, no foreigner has won the World Cup apart from the indigenous.
Nobody. No,
So it tells you that why can't you invest in your own people? Because in the long run, only your indigenous that can win the World Cup for you. Or maybe we're not planning on winning the World Cup.
right.
That's a big one there. Now, coach, I want to find out, at this point, quite a number of young coaches will look up to you and say, no, the style with this man play. No, this it's too much. It's too much to know. Transmit them inside my body. You know, what would be your advice to young coaches that are looking up to you, and of course hoping that someday soon they would have to walk in your shoes? Because let's face it, some of the former internationals, including yourself, your kind of shoes are almost nobody if you wear them. No lie.
Right.
If we lie to ourselves, because I mean, it is in this country that we have to be placed at the 5th position at the world stage. So what that means is no be beans to be 5th for world. Of course, it was in your time, and of course your set. But let's put it this way: what would be your advice, owing to the fact that yes, you had a ban for all of the reasons? What would be your advice to young coaches at this time?
Well, first of all, they have to learn from my mistakes
Right.
to be better than what I've actually been already now. But you have to be doing the right thing. You know, they keep saying Nigerian coaches are taking money, bribes, and all that stuff. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
You get to wherever you want to be at, doing the right thing.
Okay.
Because when you're doing the right thing, you're not afraid of anyone.
Right.
You don't have any skeletons, you worry about anything.
Right.
You understand? It's from stages to stages. Like I just told you, your focus would be on the players. You know, we never start on time. Anything we do in this country.
I mean, we just heard Finidi George is the one that would
About the team, right.
Coach,
We never start on time. And they do this rush thing. Didn't you know the African this thing was going to start?
Yeah.
Now, Bozo's excuse was that he didn't start on time. If he didn't start on time, why did you take the job?
Right.
African games,
Right.
We saw that.
You know, because me, I won't take it. Because
You end up
this is
failing.
what
You end up
will
failing.
happen.
Right.
Start complaining like, no, I'm not going to take it because
And
there's
that's
not enough
that's
time.
on the manager's detriment.
No,
Very much. That's
No,
a
because-
detriment.
yes. Now look at your record. Whatever you say is in your record. You understand? So you have enough time to make sure you screen the players and pick the ones that you need.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's the platform where players can showcase themselves.
Okay.
But look at it now. They couldn't even do anything.
Coach,
Wow.
lastly before we round this
Last-
off,
I
you said if we do the right, if the managers now, the coaches do the right thing, they wouldn't have skeleton.
What's the right thing?
Bros, I beg.
What do you mean the right thing?
The right thing now, Let me, in the way that it will really be easy.
Right.
The right thing, for this part of our world, if we do right thing, sometimes food not go enter table. Is that something we should consider? Or we should just go blind to it, do the right thing and stay at the right space?
If you do the right thing, you'll last longer. You understand? Because you pick the right players. So, okay, if there is a player that doesn't have the money to give to you,
Right.
and he's a good player,
Right.
what would you do? You kick him out? Because without the right players, you can't even get anywhere.
It's actually a long one.
You can't go anywhere, I'm telling you. The right players, the right coaches at the same time, it's all about motivating players, give them the confidence they need to go out there and play.
Well, coach,
They're not playing for Nigeria, but they think they are playing for me, but they are wearing Nigerian jersey.
Yeah, it's a national color.
your last word that you said that is sticking to me, do the right thing and you last longer. Those were the words of Coach Samson Siasia. Thank you so very much, Coach, for being here. We deeply do appreciate you.
You're
Right,
welcome.
Coach, thank you so
Even in the
much
shortest of time.
for honoring this invitation.
I mean,
Right, we really do appreciate it.
So you guys just hijacked me, especially you. I'll deal with you later on. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, you can do with it because the I don't
Seriously, this guy not allow me rest.
I don't want to call him former player.
When you
former player.
That's what they do.
When you see likes like Siasia, you have to hold him for the time being. He's a big name now.
Okay, maybe with coach you go see your jersey.
No, never can try. Sometimes you just try.
No, we will put that guy in one position. You gonna give them water, water boy. Now we got movie water boy.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Great to have you on the show with us. We appreciate you. We hope to have you some other time, sincerely. We appreciate you.
Yeah, when he's in the country.
I need to go now. We need to go. We need to go. I'm handing over to David. I remain KizDK. Thank you so much.
Oh well, thank you so very much for being here. We do appreciate you guys, and of course we strongly believe that you will always be staying with us, because yes, top of the hour, 12 p.m. we'll be having the news coming up after now. Well, it is Sports Republic. My name remains David E. Like I always say, don't forget to always pray for Nigeria, because there is no great nation like ours. Have an amazing day ahead. God bless Nigeria.